Look at me. I just stuck my mouse in cream soda. Hey, everybody. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at unpopular opinions of Reddit.
That's not.
Peanuts are better when eaten with the shells on. This applies primarily to salted peanuts, but even the unsalted are better with the shells. I've been eating peanuts this way my entire life, and I have never had any digestive issues or anything weird happen later. I love eating peanuts this way and will never be a peanut shell shucker.
Okay.
The taste is pleasantly earthy and gives a little more texture. It's more filling, you get some fiber. There's gotta be another way. This is truly the best way to eat peanuts, and furthermore, if you don't eat peanuts this way, you probably try to take the easy road in life. Wake up, people. Eat the peanuts this way with the shells. It is superior. Don't be a shucker. Well.
I'm sorry I'm talking so loud. I'm getting louder now.
Someone says, take my upvote, sir, and color me intrigued. Next time I'm sticking my hand into a sack of nuts, I might just try eating a peanut with the shell and all. Good for you. OP says, yeah, but don't try to wash it down with a drink right away. You need your saliva to break the shell down a bit. It isn't that hard.
That stuff's hard.
Guys, I know it's been about a week since I've posted anything, including shorts, but there's a good reason for that. I haven't been posting my regular content because I found out I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm pregnant, and you probably are wondering, what are you pregnant with? Well, I'm pregnant with an excuse. Yes, I'm pregnant with an excuse, and that is that I've been so caught up focusing on really and I can't wait to share with you. I have a couple songs lined up, and I hope they're funny. I'll give you a little sneak peek of one of the songs right now. I also found out that I'm pregnant with
500 subscribers.
Thank you so much for your support, and it really means the world. Smoking near door entrances is rude and inconsiderate. At my workplace, I see tons of people smoking near the doors, and I have to walk in to go to work. I hate the smell of cigarettes, and I consistently have to hold my breath so I don't breathe it in. If these people are going to smoke, they should at least have the decency to stay away from the places with a lot of traffic. I agree, not everyone wants to smell or breathe in smoke, especially when someone else has already breathed it in. And also, I personally like the smell of cigarettes, but I cannot smoke cigarettes. I tried for about a week in high school, and I just couldn't do it.
I couldn't stand going anymore.
This is not unpopular. Most people hate this behavior, even smokers. Where else should I have posted this then?
Where am I?
Okay. Mixed signals mean not interested. A lot of people think mixed signals mean the person is genuinely busy. People make time for people they want. Simple as that. A lot of times people see mixed signals as they have to pursue harder to keep the person interested. Nope, they're not interested. Not complicated. This is a yes and no. I think there's some people that play hard to get, but I would say that this is true most of the time. I would think. If someone just seems uninterested right away, then chances are they are uninterested.
I'm not interested.
If you can easily figure out what you think someone wants, then they're not mixed signals. I don't know what that means. OP says if you have to go through a lot of work to find out what a person means, they're not interested. Possible. If someone's giving mixed signals, it usually means they have an inability to be honest or decisive. Maybe. I think maybe they could also just feel bad. They could also just not want to hurt someone's feelings. I really think that a lot of people are just too nice and they just don't want to say no. They want you to figure it out.
Just wait. 10 years, you'll figure it out.
A perfect day outside is the best day to stay in and play video games. All the best childhood memories are of either playing video games or being out in good weather, whether on a holiday or at home. The perfect dose of nostalgia when you become an adult is looking outside on a beautiful sunny day, remembering the times your joints and muscles didn't ache, then turning the PlayStation on, closing the blinds, and forgetting the outside world exists. Absolute bliss. Or, hear me out, go outside. Well, then what do you do on bad weather days? Stay inside and play video games? If so, doesn't matter the day at all, you'll just be inside playing video games. What if I enjoy pain and misery? Those are the days you go outside and shit on your neighbor's lawn.
But I do apologize if anybody was offended by that.
I feel like yes, some days I really only like playing video games when it's bad outside or when I'm sick. And then that's when it feels good to play video games, because then you don't feel bad about not going outside, or a day off of work, because you don't have to feel bad about missing work for that.
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
If you're a teacher who cannot use Zoom because you're not good with technology and teach remotely, you're not good at what you do. It's been 3 years since the panorama happened, where teaching remote has become the norm. Video conferencing has existed long before that. Yet I still hear people use the excuse they don't know how to work these technologies. It's a real testament to one's aptitude to learn new things. How serious are we supposed to take a teacher who refuses to learn new things? I kind of agree with this, because if somebody else can learn how to use it, and there are people that had to because of the panorama, then others should be able to use it. They should at least be able to find how to use it, especially with things like YouTube, where there's a tutorial for everything, and pretty much everybody knows that now. Especially with things like Zoom, the UI really isn't that great, and I don't think it's up to par with what we need. Maybe I'm just illiterate and I don't really know, which is totally possible. I actually agree with this one. If in 3 years you can't figure out how to learn to use a very simple piece of software and teach your kids how to do so as well, you do not have the chops to be teaching. Honestly, I'd go as far as saying any non-developmentally challenged adult under senior age can't figure out, then they are not smart, period. Since the panorama... Oh, I guess maybe that could have been autocorrect, but I thought that was funny as well. Everyone I work with was able to adapt, even the old farts. It's plain lazy. I really think it is. It kind of sounds like a cop-out. I would categorize that as a cop-out.
Are you too coward?
I'm too coward.
For that.
I am.
Wanting to pass on your genes is stupid. To be clear, I'm talking about explicitly wanting to pass on your genes. I'm not using pass on your genes to refer to having kids. People act like their genes are their essence and somehow they're going to live on through their genes being passed on through time. The fact is, you don't have any unique genes. In fact, 98.8% of your genes exist in chimpanzees. 60% of your genes exist in strawberries. So, if you don't pass on your genes, strawberries will be taking care of 60% of it for you.
Do you care for me? Interesting.
That's interesting, but I've taken some genetics, and honestly, and that's actually kind of irrelevant in this. That means that there is 2.2% that make you, and that is exactly what people are referring to. They're not referring to the 98.8% of their genes that exist in chimpanzees that they want to pass on. They're talking about the genes that make them unique. The eugenes. If anything is your essence, it's a particular combination of genes, but by passing on your genes, you're actually diluting that combination. In a few generations, it won't exist anymore. Bye-bye the essence of you. That's possible, yeah. And if passing on your genes is really that important to you, why aren't you at the sperm bank as much as possible, spreading that shit far and wide? What?
No, that's not happening.
I want to know, there's some salty conversation that caused this post to happen. Why aren't you at the sperm bank as much as possible, spreading that shit far and wide? What makes you think I'm not? I've only missed 3 days in the last 16 years. That's about 4,000 loads I've sent into the freezer to ensure my unique genetic malformation is spread far and wide. You're welcome, ladies. Oh, God. Clearly directed at people who aren't. Why even comment? That's clearly a joke. I think sperm banks are a really scary thing. I really do.
Sometimes I'm creeped out.
Meghan Trainor makes nursery rhymes for adults. Her music is catchy in the same way Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is catchy. If you're 10 years old or older and enjoy her music, you should get a juice box and take a nap to complete the experience. She sucks. Edit. I literally bought a pack of High C Flash and Fruit Punch juice boxes the other day, and I think naps are the tits. I did not mean to disparage those things, so please shut up about it. This is nothing new for pop music. Yes, pop music has always been blatantly basic. There's nothing really wrong with that. It's just what you like. I mean, if people like pop music, they like pop music. That doesn't mean that they're basic. right? But you're damaging your argument by comparing her song to one of the worst musical atrocities since Bieber let us know what he thought would always be his. What?
I don't know what the that was.
Life has no meaning, you have no purpose, and that's okay. Life is anything you want it to be. You don't need purpose to enjoy it. Just be kind to others, humans, animals, and the environment, and strive for whatever makes you truly happy. I kind of agree. I mean, I just think that no one knows the meaning to life. And I don't think that you have no purpose is really a great thing to put in there. Maybe like you have no specific purpose would be okay. Let's see what people have to say. Life has no externally imposed meaning or purpose. Striving for whatever makes you happy is giving your life meaning and purpose on your own. Yes. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion.
It's just atheism.
Science be praised.
80s rock is massively overrated and an extremely boring genre. I generally consider myself pretty open to different genres of music, but 80s rock is some of the most bland, milquetoast genres. It's like the Marvel movies of music. A lot of people casually enjoy them, but not having much substance. It feels mass-produced and inoffensive. At least other genres, which are more commonly hated like pop, have different sounds and experimentation, but most rock from this period is super predictable and gets old really fast. Also, rock purists who only listen to 80s rock are super annoying music. They're like K-pop stans and have decided anything that isn't classic and 80s rock music isn't real music. I like some of it, but the genre as a whole feels boring and a lot like football rock. I'm not sure what football rock is, but I would say that you can't really discount any era of music, any era of any genre, because really, like, if 80s rock didn't happen, we wouldn't have the 90s rock that we had, and we wouldn't have the early 2000s rock that we have. And now we wouldn't have our modern rock. He wouldn't have been born without 80s rock. 80s rock has to happen for modern day rock to exist, and you cannot counter that. There are some 80s jams that are good though, even 80s rock jams. People have an unhealthy obsession with animals. It's so weird to me. Whenever I see something bad happening, people always seem to say things like, "Glad the dog, cat is okay," in a situation where people got injured or even lost their lives. Like, why do you care about an animal's life that isn't even yours than about human lives being lost? It's honestly borderline disgusting seeing comments like this. I don't spend a whole lot of time on Reddit, but I could see like Reddit doing that. like the headline like reads like 7 people dead, and then at least the dog escaped their life, you know. We're noticing what matters here. Because the animal is seen as innocent, not seen as are. I think that animals can be just as uninnocent. I think that we are in some way on the same level, you know. Yeah, the human is automatically not innocent. Like how do you get to that?
Do you know if it's true?
Air Jordans look like trash and not worth the money. I feel like this is a pretty unpopular opinion of mine. Sure, some variants look better than others, but personally, I feel that Jordans are so generic looking and uninteresting. Also, all of my previous pairs of Nikes never last very long. I've never heard this opinion before or seen it in the sub, but I'm pretty sure mods will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really have that big of an opinion on them. I've never had them. I'm not too into basketball really or anything like that, but they don't look horrible. I think that they're made to look generic to capture the largest audience, the largest consumer pool, or whatever you call it. Considering that most sneakerheads will fight you over this, I'd say it was unpopular. I actually agree. I'm not a big fan of the man as it sits, but the AJ1 just isn't a good shoe. What amazes me most about so many sneakerheads is this: hourly wages, $600 sneakers, $600 rent, $6,000 car. Priorities are all effed up. I buy discount sneakers.
Look at me. Look at the
2 seasons ago, New Balance sneakers old retired men wear to the gym. They've got 7 million in fidelity, fly business class with their wife, and buy $40 pairs at DSW. They correctly know sneakers are a depreciating asset in virtually all cases. Can't argue with that one.
You got me.
Sick of being hit, Sick of being hit with a subscription plan everywhere I look. Well, get used to it. The name of the current economy is death by 1,000 cuts. There aren't many services that truly belong to you anymore because most things that will provide entertainment or functional usage is dolled out on a dang subscription plan. Movie theaters push a subscription plan. Food services push a subscription plan. Ride services push a subscription plan. Video games, don't even get me started on the constant money sinkholes these games come up with. Diablo Immortal, anyone? I get prompted daily by Apple for a subscription for extra cloud storage. They push subscription plans for buying goddamn clothes now. If I never see another Klarma ad, it will be too soon.
At the end of the day, there's only so much one person can take.
Even the free subscriptions get old. Subscribe to newsletters and email ads. Subscribe to text messaging lists and social media pages. Subscribe up, down, left, and right. Everywhere you freaking look, someone is asking for 99 cents per month for something. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Hey. You there. I just wanted to remind you that you maybe didn't subscribe, and it just, statistically, there's at least 5 channels that will be on top of mine alphabetically, so if you could just do it, I would scream. I will scream at you. And actually, I'll do it if you don't subscribe too. So, yeah. I feel that. For some, I cancel and get back a few months later for the content. I think the way it preys on a lot of people not canceling the subscription when they aren't using it is where it is sus, yes. An honorable thing would be if you have not used in 3 months, we will automatically cancel your subscription. Then I'd be all down for them. Yeah, I mean, someone's probably going to do that. I think at some point, somebody will do that just to get people to do the subscription more.
What is that?
They put two
Apostrophes?
Did they? I gotta find another quotation mark. Oh my god, it is. Why did they use 2 apostrophes instead? It's right next to it. It is the same key. Maybe they just like the way it looks.
I just feel like I did what I was supposed to do.
The sad reality is that confidence will get you much further in life than intelligence. I can't tell you how many bosses, CEOs, and people in high corporate positions I've met that would never hire themselves in terms of intelligence or capabilities, but they're confident. So much so it's almost fraudulent. And they get far for it. I also have friends who are exceptionally intelligent and hardworking who are still at poverty level. They think somehow that they will be eventually rewarded for their efforts and their ideas. Sad truth is that they will not. Some confident asshole will simply take advantage of them or outright take credit for their hard work. I believe this is an unpopular opinion because the majority of people I know are in the latter situation or think that that's what they should aspire to be to achieve success. Edit. A commenter made a good point that my use of confidence is really referring to a big ego. I've added more info about this opinion throughout the comments. Confidence or a big ego can give you the determination that is not present in most people, and the determination can get a lot done. This can lead to both great and terrible outcomes. That's true. Yeah, I would agree to some extent. I think a little of both can really get you into a good position. Confidence without an ego without intelligence enough to check the ego is inevitably going to lead to some kind of disaster, unless you're the really lucky one. So really, an intelligence without an ego, you're just not going to get yourself into the situations where you can use the intelligence to get yourself ahead. So it's really just about a balance of the two to gain happiness and success. Oh man, I just stuck my mouse in cream soda.
Such a messy bitch.
Dad jokes are actually quite funny and get too much unnecessary hate. It's always confused me as to why people hate on dad jokes so much. To me, it seems that they are well crafted and often quite funny at times. Help, people hate on things such as puns all the time, even if it's clearly a good pun. I admit sometimes it can feel a bit stale, but the joke is almost always made in good faith, and I think that they need to be shown a little bit more love. Agreed. Dad jokes are what they are. They need to be accepted right now. We need to come together and accept dad jokes and even puns once in a while, because when do they really have a bad outcome? Outcome. I hardly know her. Okay, one more. If you take longer than a minute to order at the drive-thru, you're wasting everyone's time. Typing while I wait in the drive-thru. The person in front has asked questions about almost every item on the menu. I feel as though the drive-thru should be used for quick service. In this day and age, you have plenty of time to look up the menu on your phone before you go through the drive-thru. If you want customer service and someone to answer your questions, I feel like it's more than reasonable to go inside and order. I've worked in drive-thrus in the past and will carry over this sentiment until I am too old to drive through said drive-thru. I agree. I think there's just some people that just like to talk, and maybe they're lonely. Maybe the drive-thru person is the only person they've talked to all day, and they just don't want the conversation to end, you know? I've also been the person who has waited in line while the drive-thru person who clearly knows the person going through the drive-thru has sat and conversed with them well after giving them their items and well past the point where they could have driven off. Let me go get my damn coffee. Well, that's it for the video, guys. I didn't write an outro, but I will leave you with this sentiment. Goodbye. That wasn't funny. Well, I guess then I'm just gonna say, you know, you are what you eat. That's horrible.
Come on!
You know, somebody once, no. Cody Co.
Yeah. I'm trying to lay it overboard. Yeah. This ocean's got me hella bored. Can you see my pirate drip? I'm trying to kiss your pirate lips. You wanna see my peg leg? I just wanna pop your powder keg, baby. Get it, baby. I can say it all dang day. Pirate shit's gang gang. Yo, sweat, need it pale.